we are planning major actions for May 1st. Given all of the terrible things that have been happening lately, all of the scary stuff that's been going on with the pandemic, there are unions that are planning to strike. There are workers' associations that are planning to strike and have other kinds of demonstrations. There are a lot of people doing stuff right now, and we're all trying to coordinate around May 1st. Now, a lot of us are talking about carrying this forward so that we will have a major demonstration like this, major actions on the 1st of every month indefinitely. But the point is, we're going to keep doing this on the 1st of every month. We want to build momentum. And the idea is that eventually we'll have enough momentum that we can start doing a protracted rolling strike where tenants and workers and people who owe debt are all striking in this like rolling wave sort of strategy until some of our demands are met. If you want to see our demands and our platform, our goals, and our strategies for GenStrike, the organization that I'm involved with, put a link to that in the description. You just go to genstrike.org/about/our-platform. That'll talk you through the basics of what we're trying to do. I know there's some people watching this right now who cannot do anything at all. If you have a lot of need right now and very little ability, I don't think anybody should shame you for that. I'm certainly not trying to shame you for that. If you have perhaps a little bit of capacity in terms of ability, if you have a little bit of free time right now, if you have some energy, if you have some skills to bring to the table, we really need you. Please come and help us out. So let's talk about some of the things that you can do specifically in relation to May 1st. So if you can go at least one day on May 1st without buying anything, and I'm saying don't buy anything. Don't buy products, don't buy services, don't buy food, don't buy anything. Now it's tough. We all like buying stuff, but let's show some solidarity to these workers who will be striking. Get involved with an organization. You might already have one in mind that you've been thinking about joining, but just been putting it off. Maybe you have no idea where to start. We are here to help you. There are comrades around the world who have been through organization. They know how it works. They know what not to do. They know the science of organizing and activism. So don't act alone. If you're not sure where to start, find a group, find some comrades, and then start digging in. You could definitely help us out by signal boosting. We've had workers striking at Amazon, Whole Foods, Domino's. The list goes on. Sanitation workers. I could keep listing them off. Okay, organization has been happening for months now. The press isn't covering it. It's on us. It's on the workers to signal boost our own message. We have to be our own press. So if you have a Twitter, if you have a Facebook, if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a Twitch channel, if you are in the audience of YouTube and Twitch creators, please raise the flag. Let people know that this stuff is happening. There are lots of organizations that are doing major things right now. Follow them on social media, retweet their stuff. Let people know what's going on. Let people know what your plan is for supporting the May Day operations. If you can donate $10-20 to a hardship fund, that could go a long way towards keeping those workers striking maybe an extra day, maybe an extra couple of days. If we all chip in and we help finance these hardship funds and these strike relief funds, then we might keep a strike going just that little bit of extra time that they need to have their demands met. You can also support mutual aid networks, which these have popped up all across the USA, all around the world. These are helping people who have all kinds of vulnerable situations, whether they're homeless, disabled, just lost their jobs, whatever. We have these mutual aid networks. They need goods, they need money, and they need help. Now let's talk a little bit about what you can be doing at your workplace. Okay, the number one thing that you should be doing is learning about organizing. If you're starting from scratch and you don't know anything about any of this stuff, you should be learning how to organize, what the science of organizing looks like. A lot of people think that they have no potential to organize because they don't know how organizing works. If you join the IWW, the one big union, the industrial workers of the world, they have amazing resources for you. They have guidebooks, they have training seminars, they have online workshops you can be taking. They've been doing workshops that are specifically focused on COVID-19 and how we can prepare ourselves as workers for this ongoing, prolonged crisis we're facing. I think the IWW is an amazing resource. All of us should be participating and joining up and going through these trainings. Have a petition and get everybody to sign it between now and May 1st, all your coworkers, for whatever your demands might be to make your workplace less hostile, more safe, whether you need PPE, whether you need paid sick leave, whatever you might happen to need. Get a petition going in your workplace, and then on May 1st, present the petition with all those signatures to your employer. If you do have a workplace that you think is organized enough, you might want to consider the easiest thing to do would be like a slowdown. And that just means you go into work and you slow your work down together collectively. There are lots of ways to do this, but just basically keep your production slow, keep your output slow so that your bosses make less money. This works better over longer times typically, but even if you just do it on May 1st and that's all that you can do, well, that's something. It's better than nothing. You could also consider something that's a little bit more stealthy would be a sick out. And that would be a situation where you and all of your fellow coworkers call in sick at the same time with the idea of shutting down the business on that day. You can also demonstrate at work on May 1st. You can wear like a little badge that says stop work, or I support striking workers, or ask me about general strike, or maybe hashtags like hashtag general strike 2020, hashtag May Day 2020, something like that. You could be as subtle or as pronounced as you can, depending on your workplace. If you're not allowed to wear any kind of special garb at work, or if you think that might get you in trouble, you might be able to get away with putting a little poster or an index card or something at your workstation that shows the same thing. Just something that will signal to your fellow workers and possibly to customers that you're supporting the May Day movement and the wider general strike movement. Let's get into actual labor striking now. And labor striking is a big commitment, and it requires a lot of preparation, planning. It's not something you should take lightly, okay? Even like a wildcat strike where you get all the workers pissed off at the same time together, there is a chance you could all get fired. It depends on your industry, and it depends on your contracts and that sort of thing. It could be very bad for you if you strike and you don't know what you're doing in terms of the law, and you don't know what you're doing in terms of your contracts and your employer's situation, all this kind of stuff. You need to have a very, very good plan going into it. That's why I'm recommending you start training now. Think about it very carefully. If you have any coworkers that you trust, talk to them very carefully. Maybe consider joining the IWW together or contacting us at GenStrike together. But regardless, do not act alone. If you're not working, or even if you are, there are plenty of other options for other kinds of demonstrations and strike efforts. So you can start tenant organizing. Either within your building, if you live in like an apartment building or apartment complex or something like that, or within your local community. Maybe start tenant organizing with your neighborhood, whatever that might mean for your living situation. Maybe it just means organizing your roommates, at least starting out, with the eye towards rent striking. As of right now, 31% of people in the USA are not paying rent anyway, mostly because they're not able to. So if you're in a situation where you can't pay your rent anyway, or maybe you're struggling financially, you're not very stable right now, why not turn not paying your rent into a political action? But don't act alone. Don't just go off and as an individual write a letter to your landlord and say you're refusing to pay your rent. That's a quick way to get evicted. You need to be organizing. Don't act alone. Work with other people, work with people in your community. There are lots of guides on the internet for how to organize a tenants union. There are lots of other tenant unions that would be very happy, I'm sure, to help you point you in the direction in terms of organizing. If nothing else, you can, of course, contact us at genstrike.org, and we can kind of guide you to at least find the resources and advice that you need. We have some resources ourselves to help you out with, but don't act alone. The other option is debt striking, and the average US American has over $6,000 in credit card debt alone. Half of the people who have medical debt in the USA have had to default on it. It's evil stuff. So I think it's time to start talking about organizing debt strike. Our money shouldn't be going to pay off interest on loans right now and credit card bills while we're all trying to figure out how we're going to eat and how we're going to survive in the middle of a pandemic. There's so many things that you can do to help your community, help your neighbors, help your comrades, help your fellow workers out. If you're already doing stuff like that, that's fantastic. Let us know if we can help you. I do believe, even though this is a scary time, I don't know what's going to happen. I think that the world is going to change, and there's a good chance it could change for the worse unless we come together right now and stand together. And that's why we need every single one of you doing what you can. If there's nothing you can do, we're here to back you up and try to support you as a vulnerable person. But if there's anything that you can do, if you could do a little bit more, I urge you to challenge yourself to do more. It'll make you feel great. If you're looking to rent strike, if you're looking to debt strike, if you're looking to labor strike, or if you're just looking to support other striking workers, or if you're looking to help build mutual aid networks, those are all things we can help you to do. We can help you to find organizations in your area. And if there is no organization in your area, we can possibly, hopefully help you to start one. We're here as a support group first and foremost. The working class can come together right now. Let's do it.